Hey, Galen Spring here. In this video, we're going to be doing a free website audit for acswraps.com. This audit will show all the things that need to be fixed in order to get more website traffic, rank higher in Google, and convert more website visitors into paying customers. So the first thing we're going to look at is the domain overview in SEMrush. So just putting this in here, going to domain overview. And right off the bat, we can see there's no organic search traffic, no paid traffic, and just a few backlinks. So overall, not really much going on the website currently. So we're just going to mark all of these red. Let's take a look at what the domain authority is. Looks like Moz is giving it a domain authority of 3. That's 3 out of 100, so that's pretty low. Important to keep in mind that the score is relative to your competitors. So anyway, competitive authority, probably, most likely you do not have competitive authority. This is a one-page website, from what I can tell. One-page websites can be hard to rank in Google because there's just really not much content for Google to read. But we'll get more into that later. So let's check to see if Google Analytics is set up on the website. So we're just using Google Tag Assistant. And just giving this a second to load. Sometimes it takes a second. Let's just refresh one more time. And it looks like Google Analytics is not set up on the website. So that is a crucial first step to begin your journey of ranking on Google, setting up Google Analytics, as well as Google Search Console. And that's to track all the analytics on your site, track the conversions, form submissions, as well as see which keywords your website is ranking for. So now we're just going to do a overview of the calls to action on the website. So as you can see, the first thing you see on the website, ACS wraps. Assuming that this is the logo. Oh, okay. This is the logo. So the logo belongs in the upper left hand corner. So you want a smaller version of this up in the upper left hand corner, and it needs to link back to the website. Again, this is a one-page website, so not really much to work with here. The main thing that's missing is an opt-in. So right away, the first thing that someone should see when they land on this website is some kind of button, some kind of form, something for them to click, some type of call to action, front and center, preferably with your phone number. So something like get a quote, call, whatever your phone number is. So, and then the phone number should be a link to call you, and forgetting what it's called off the top of my head, but basically how that works is when someone clicks the button, it on a mobile device, you'll get a little option to call that number. And just to quickly show you on my website, I think I have it set up. Yep. Okay. So it works on desktop as well. If you have Google Chrome set up with your if you have the same profile on Google Chrome as on your phone, on your desktop as on your phone rather. And so then someone on desktop can actually click this and then it'll go right to their phone, and then they'll call you on their phone. So that's really important for conversion rate. So again, adding something like this, call for a quote, and then your phone number. Another thing that's missing is some type of header. So I'm assuming that this is like custom vehicle wraps. So adding something like that as well. I know this is kind of a lot of information all at once, but another thing you'll want is your primary location. So let's see. So you're 802, so you're Vermont. You might have like a more specific service area, but let's just say, something like custom vehicle wraps Vermont, or custom car wraps Vermont, or Vermont custom car wraps, as the header here. So overall, you're really just missing the call to action completely. One last thing you can do is making a sticky call to action. So what that means is that, let's say you have the header, you have the button. Now, as people scroll down the website, obviously that button stays up here. So what you can do is add a sticky button, and that's a button that stays in the bottom right or the bottom left corner. And that allows people to, at any point when they're scrolling down, to click that button and do your call to action. Okay, so here's your call to action down here. Schedule now. And it looks like that's a mail. That's a mail to link. You can see down in the bottom left corner of my screen, Kesher at acswraps.com. And it's not currently working. Same thing, quote now, schedule now. Okay, so it's actually schedulement now. This is actually misspelled there. Okay, so the button's not working. And you probably want this to go to your phone number rather than just an email. You're going to get a higher conversion rate if it goes to your phone number. If you don't want to take calls all hours of the day, you can set up some type of call tracking software that can help you with that. That's something I can help you with if you're interested. And just one more comment on these buttons. They don't stand out at all. So what you want is your buttons to be some kind of bright, eye-catching color. This red would be really good. So I would put it, front and center here, big red button. And then these are fine if you get this, as long as they work. And then make these red as well. Maybe make the font white. And just make them a bit bigger so they stand out. So those are some things that can help with the calls to action, with the conversion rate. I didn't see any website forms, so we're just going to skip those. Logo clickable to home page. So it's really just it's a one-page website. So top navigation menu, even with a one-page website, I do recommend adding a top navigation menu. The top navigation menu, just to show you on my website, is just this this menu up here. You can see me circling. And how that works, obviously for my website, this takes you to individual pages. For how it works on a one-page website is they are basically jump links. So again, there's not really much information here, but this might be, you might say like, this is the About Us section or the Contact section. And then this is like the Chrome delete service. This is the partial wrap service. This is the full color change wrap service. And the website should have each one of those as a jump link up in the top navigation menu, so that if someone's interested in contacting you, they can just click that and it takes you right down to here without having to scroll. So no distractions above the fold, not really much of anything above the fold. I think this was built with Wix. I think I saw created with Wix. Wix is definitely not one of the better options if your goal is to get organic search traffic. So I would recommend going for more of a a better option, and that's something I can hook you up with. If you're interested in a website that's going to be more likely to get you organic search traffic. If your goal is just to paid traffic, a Wix website can be fine. But again, it's really just, Wix is really just one of those platforms that's just quite limited in terms of what it can do. However, it is a modern CMS, so you get a point there. I'm just gonna say, okay, well, anyway, let's do the mobile friendly test. It's built with Wix. I'm not really sure if I need to check this because Wix is almost always mobile friendly. I'll check it anyway. Let's check the responsiveness. So responsive means that when you do like half a page, the website kind of resizes all the elements and it looks like there's no problems there. Mobile friendly. Assuming there's no invisible text. This looks like a relatively new website. No invisible text. That's good. No pop-ups on mobile. Just going to reload this, make sure nothing's coming up. And so it looks like you're, let me just make sure here, but it looks like you're actually, your mobile site is actually missing the top menu as well. Let me just turn off Moz. Check that again. Yes, so you're missing the hamburger menu, like the 3 lines that comes up on the mobile website. So that's really important to add as well. I'm just gonna note that here. Next, we're going to just see if there's any flash on the website, and I'm guessing, like I said, this is a newer website, so probably not going to have any flash. No about page, no contact page, name, address, phone number in the footer. Let me just double check that. Okay, so there's no flash on the website. So you have the phone number, you're missing your name and address. So you might not want to put your address on here. That's up to you. It's a business decision. I would recommend at least adding your name, so people know how to address you. And I mean, it's kind of obvious with your email there. Your name is Kesher, but just make that crystal clear. Type first name, last name, add like a picture of yourself, maybe add a short bio. Just try to be really transparent so people know exactly who they're dealing with. So you can build a sense of trust when people are looking at the About Us section on your website. So I would recommend doing that. You don't need to build out a separate About Us page. You could just put that information right in here, create the link About Us or Contact Us, About Me, Contact Me, something like that. So what we're just going to put here is name and address missing from footer. There's no terms and conditions page. That's probably fine since you're not collecting online payments. You're missing a favicon, so is there a favicon? No, there is not a favicon there. So the favicon is you can see mine is this little, it's like a little emblem it's my logo, GS, and you can see it up in the corner here. SEMrush has their little like fireball thing. Even Google Sheets has their little cell lines thing. So adding a favicon, it's basically just like a little miniature version of your logo, or just like, for you, it could just be like the letter A, this bold black font, and upload that. There should be an option in Wix, or if you decide to upgrade to a better platform, there should be an option to add that. And that's what comes up if someone bookmarks your site, if someone saves your site to their top sites in a new browser tab, or if they have multiple tabs open and they're just navigating between different websites, you just want them to be able to quickly identify which is yours. White space, there is a little bit too much white space. I would kind of try to just maybe make the images a little bit smaller and make the text a little bit bigger. Just try to fill in some of this extra space here. Things are kind of spaced pretty far apart, and that just makes for excessive scrolling. And can make it a little bit more difficult to read. So I'm going to say there's a bit of excessive white space. And then the colors are consistent, fonts are consistent. If you have social media pages, looks like you have an Instagram. That's great. You could add, okay, so no posts. You could add like TikTok, Facebook. Facebook's great for collecting reviews. TikTok is if like you've got you've got a project and you just want to take a little short video. You can put that on Instagram as well. Just kind of like showcase your work. Pinterest, I mean, any kind of social media, building that out helps. And that's probably something that is more long term. Once you start getting more clients, building out your social media can really help kind of spread the word about your business online. But you do have Instagram, so you get a pass. Let's take a look at the website speed. It's probably, I'm almost certain you're going to get an A, because it's just a one-page website and there's not much on it. Although there is a bit, you do have like those kind of like video image things, GIFs, which can slow the website down, but you get an A, so that's a pass. The SSL is fine. SSL is this little secure lock up in the corner. Let's make sure that the HTTP version redirects back to the HTTPS. Oh, we have, yep, it does. So that's good. That's called the global canonical tag, also known as enforcing the HTTPS. And I'm almost positive you don't have any malware because it's a new site. No malware, not blacklisted. Okay, next thing we're going to check is the robots.txt file. This file shows Google what pages to crawl and what pages, or rather, this shows Google what pages not to crawl. It looks like there's just a couple things here, but overall that looks good. The sitemap is linked. That's another check. And let's just take a look. Let's just take a look at the sitemap. One-page website, not much there. So you get a pass for all of this. Get a pass for the URL structure. And let me just make this, these should be passes. I'm just gonna add the note, no forms on website. So you get a pass because they don't exist. I would recommend adding some type of form just in case someone is too shy to call you or doesn't, can't figure out how to email you. It's good to have a form just so people can just fill that out on the website and send that in. Okay, so next thing we're going to look at is your, meta title, meta description, ACS wraps, vehicle wraps, Milton. Okay, so maybe Milton is your main service area. Vinyl vehicle wrapping services in Chittenden County, Vermont. Chrome delete, full color wraps, partial. Actually, that's not bad. So this shows your services, shows your location, shows the main keyword. Something you would want to look at is vehicle vinyl wrapping services. Is that what people are searching for in Google? Personally, I don't really know much about vehicle wrapping, but I might search something like custom vinyl wraps, Vermont. So this is where keyword research can come in, seeing like what are the most popular search terms relevant to this service, putting that in. Another thing that I would do is add calls to action. So ACS wraps, vehicle wraps, Milton. You can take your brand name right out of the title. You don't really need to worry about the brand name since it's in your URL. So I would change this to something like vehicle wraps Milton, or whatever the main keyword is, Milton, and then call us today, or get a quote now. Some type of call to action. And I would put some type of action verb in the description as well. So a really good one is just get. So get vehicle vinyl wrapping services in Chittenden County, Vermont. That is a more clickable phrase than just this as it is. Just adding the word get can literally make more people click on it. So going back to the audit, meta titles do exist. Does contain your keywords. I'm not really sure if it's the best keyword. That's something that you'd have to look into, or that's something I could do for you if you're interested in keyword research services. Missing the call to action. It is optimized for the location. I would just make sure that that has all the locations. So is it just Milton that you offer services in, or is it the areas around Milton as well? If it is, I'll get more to this later, but if there are other other towns that you offer vehicle wrapping services in, I would highly recommend building out a specific page for each one of those locations. So it is optimized for the location. They are the proper length. You could even make them a little bit longer. They're not, free of unrelated, free of duplicate, free of keyword stuffed. Meta description is good, contains the keyword, I believe. Let's just see if this was I was looking at your, okay, more on that later. I'll just close that for now. You have no meta keywords. That's actually a good thing. Those are not used anymore. The keywords are actually towards the front of the meta title and meta description, but missing the unique selling points. It's another thing that I would highly recommend adding to the meta description are unique selling points, and then the action verbs. So heading tags, let's just take a look at those. ACS wraps. You're missing the H1, so I would recommend redoing the heading tags, making sure the H1 is like your primary keyword, the H2 is the secondary keyword or the services, and then yeah, that would really be that. And making sure the H1 resembles your title tag. Footer and header, I don't think there are any links. So for some reason this mail to link just doesn't work. No internal links because there's no other pages to link to. One thing you can do is if you're struggling to rank this website, is just add more content. So that could be adding content to this page to make it more, add content that's like relevant to the location, add more content relevant to the services and the benefits of each service. Maybe a little bit more about like the description of what each service is. I'd highly recommend setting up some type of email list, and that's just like, I think you can get like a free MailChimp account and just be collecting emails. Just so if you're like running a promo or something like that, you have a way to reach out to people who have shown interest. So add email list. There's no articles, no FAQ content. There's no duplicate content. And nothing much here is really keyword optimized. You do have images. As far as I can tell, the images are all good. I mean, it's kind of close up. Like this image, like is, what I would ask myself is, does this image accurately show what can be expected with these services? Because I mean, this is kind of like close up of the headlights and grill and whatnot, tail light, and that is, it looks cool, but is it really showing like what the vehicle wrap service is? Just something to keep in mind. I would recommend adding a video. So that's another thing that I would recommend adding to the top. One thing would be some type of header with a keyword. Another would be the button with your phone number. And then a third thing could be a video that shows you, that's like you introducing yourself, talking a little bit about the services you offer and talking about the benefits of those services. And then also, asking people to call you or send you a message, to get a free quote, something like that. So videos can be really helpful. And that's actually something I need to add to my website, is a good video introduction. Okay, let's look for OG data. OG data is what Facebook uses to, and other social media profiles use to generate a link to your website when someone shares your website on Facebook. I think I need a colon. There it is. Okay. Okay, so it looks like you do have the title, description, URL, site name. type. So it does exist. Let's just make sure. Let's just use Google's tool. I mean, Facebook's tool, and just make sure that it looks good. Okay, so this is what it looks like when people share your website on Facebook. So something I would ask myself if I were you is, does this accurately show what you offer? I would probably say not. I would find an image. I think that's just like a screenshot of like the GIF that you're using. But I would add something that's like, you probably want your logo to be the image that's showing. So add logo as OG data image. And let's see if you have local business schema. Local business schema enhances your search result in Google to make it a bit more appealing to click on. And it looks like you do not have the schema. That's something I would recommend adding as well. Okay, back to SEMrush. Looking at the backlinks. I believe yes, okay, so all your backlinks are all coming from one website, ckwraps.com. I looked at this website earlier and it looks like that it is like some kind of like online training course or something like that for vehicle wrapping. And so I'm guessing you probably like took some kind of course on here, created an account, and then it gives you an option to put in your information. So that's great. That's an example of a backlink. There are other directories online. So this would be like a niche directory. There might be other vehicle wrap directories that you can get your business added to. There might be local directories, like maybe there's like directories for businesses in Milton that you could get your business name added to, a link to your website added to, and then there might be generic backlink opportunities like I'm blanking. Like Yelp, Yellow Pages. I think Yelp is paid, which I typically don't really recommend like paid directories, but anyway, I have a big list if you're interested in getting more directory listings. You can also just buy a service online that gives you a bunch of generic directories. If you want the more valuable ones, the niche directories and the local directories, those are probably something you want to manually fill out, manually create those accounts. And what those do is those give you can give you higher authority in Google, as if you have multiple different websites that all have your name, your website, your phone, your email, your location, then that just sends a signal to Google that you're a legitimate business with a legitimate online presence, and you're known across these different websites. And that can be really valuable as well for helping you to outrank your competitors in Google and start showing up for the keywords that you want to rank for. So overall, not really much here. no private blog networks. If you decide to buy backlinks, just don't buy private blog networks. Don't buy Web 2.0s. Don't buy like the cheap Fiverr services that just give you like a bunch of spam backlinks, because they're probably not going to hurt you, but they're just going to waste your money. They're not going to help you. So what did I say? So you did have that one niche directory. You can always add more. Okay, so this is probably the biggest takeaway, as what's next on the list is what you want is to have a individual page for each location that you offer services in. So if that's Milton, I'm just trying to think, like what are the towns around Milton? I don't really know that side of the state very well. Okay, so like, do you offer services in Colchester? Do you offer services in Georgia? Do you offer services in Fairfax and South Hero? In Winooski, in Burlington, that's a big one. South Burlington, Essex. Are you willing to go out to those locations? Or do you think people would be willing to drive to your location from those locations? Or do you really just want Milton? So if you just want Milton, I would recommend optimizing your homepage for the keyword Milton, like Milton vehicle wrap services. If you are more interested in getting these other locations, then I would build out a specific page for each location. So rather than rank the homepage for Milton, I would rank the homepage for just like, something more generic like Vermont or whatever. What is this? Chittenden County vehicle wrap services. The other thing would be the service pages. So I think you had 3 services that you offer. So for each of these services, I mean, this is a good start, but what I would also do is create a separate page for each service, get more into detail, and then just mention each location that you offer the service in. And then on those pages, link the pages together. So you mention on your partial wrap service, mention each location, link to each location page, as well as link to your other service pages and mention your other service pages. So that's something that helps build the authority of a website, as well as just having good interlinking between your pages, especially your location and service pages. If you decide to build out the pages, it's important to include those in the top navigation menu as well as in the footer. And then a review page, that is another really big thing. So I would do 2 things. I would add testimonials to the home page, preferably with like a picture. So like, a quote. I highly recommend Kesher's vehicle wrap services. My car looks sick, and then like a picture of like who it is. And then I would also have a separate page that's like just a dedicated page for testimonials. Put that in the top navigation menu. And when you go to that, it's like all of your reviews. You can even, if you have, I haven't checked this yet, but if you have a Google business profile and you have reviews on that, you can get that. You can get a plugin that pulls those directly in and puts it on the web page. So that way, when people come to your website, they can click on that and see all of your reviews. Next, we're going to do actually, let's skip this. This would just be looking at your citations, but we already saw that you just have the one backlink, so it's probably not really going to be citations to look for. Okay, so now we're looking to see if you have a Google business profile. Nope. So Google business profile, this can be like consider a website like 50% of your online presence, maybe 75% of your online presence, or maybe just like 25% of your online presence. The other portion of that is made up by a Google business profile, and that's what comes up in Google Maps. You do not need a brick and mortar location for people to go to. If you have a service area, so if you have the service area of Milton, maybe 20 miles around Milton, something like that, I don't know. You can put that in to show up publicly so that when people are in that area and they search for the keyword vehicle wraps near me, your website will come up. Your Google business profile will come up. So let's just do vehicle wraps near me. So let's see what comes up for me. Okay, so these are competitors. So you have some awesome, these are your competitors. The first one has no reviews. Second one has no reviews. The third one has 1 review. The fourth one has 3 reviews. So if you get like, just like several reviews, you should start coming up in Google. So I would definitely jump on creating a Google business profile for your business, as well as a Bing Places. Not so important, but just to kind of complement the Google business profile. And there are some things. So if you're interested in doing that, if you're interested in having me do that for you, there are some things to keep in mind. So just going through, you want to make sure your location, your service area is provided. You want to make sure you have 1 to 2 relevant categories. So I think that would be like, I'm not really sure what that would be. Sign shop, digital printing service, graphic designer, commercial printer, print shop, sign shop, auto accessories, wholesaler. I'm not really sure what the appropriate Google business profile category would be for you. But here you can see like this one is coming up because their website mentions vehicle wraps and they have no reviews. So your website mentions vehicle wraps, so you should be coming up for this if you create your Google Business Profile. So you want to make sure your business name contains the keyword, so it does contain wraps, so that does give you a little bit of an advantage. One thing you consider if you create the Google Business Profile and it's like been several months and you're struggling to rank, or you're struggling to beat your competitors, which I doubt, because I mean all you need is like just a few reviews and you should be beating them. But in the event that that does happen, what you can do is file for a doing business as, and do like ACS wraps, doing business as Milton vehicle wraps. And that's like an awesome way to kind of like hack your way to the first place. If someone's searching for Milton vehicle wraps and you're doing business as is literally just Milton vehicle wraps, then you're almost guaranteed to be number one. So you want to make sure your hours are provided, phone number provided, website's linked, the appointment link provided, and what you do for that is just link directly to your contact page, which hopefully you'll be building out after this video. Generating optimized reviews. So if there's like, I mean, there's not really much to look at here. Let's just see like, what's this guy's review? What's this review? Great service, best wrap in VT. Okay, not really much to go on there. So just focus on generating reviews for now. So if you create the Google Business Profile, what you can do is Google will give you a link that you can send to your customers to ask them for a review. You want to make sure you have lots of photos, so you can add a picture of your logo. Maybe like if you have like a location that people drop their cars off at, you want to make sure you have like a picture of the location, picture of like your setup, maybe like the inside of your shop or whatever, and then pictures of your work. Can be really valuable. And then the last thing would be responding to reviews. Okay, so in summary, currently the website does not really have much going on in terms of organic traffic, authority. What I would focus on for you is making sure you have those calls to action, making sure you have like first of all a header with the keyword, making sure you have a top navigation menu with links to each page, locations, services, testimonials, about us, contact us, making sure you have a button with a click to call link, and making sure the button actually has your phone number written inside of it. Make sure you have, well, if you want to, I would recommend adding a video, an introduction video that has a some type of opt-in or call to action towards the end of it. I would recommend building out your pages, location pages, service pages, making sure that they're keyword optimized, doing some keyword research. And then just some tweaks to the website. If you're interested, I can build you out a pretty good website. That's going to look better than just a Wix website. That's going to be more likely to help you rank in Google. But if you want to stick with this website, just minimize the white space. Adding your name and address to the footer. Adding like a testimonials section, adding a review section, adding like an about us section with a picture of you, short bio. Adding that mobile menu. Making sure you have a logo that's clickable to the homepage in the top left of the navigation menu. Adding a favicon. Optimizing your calls to action. Optimizing your meta titles so they contain calls to action, unique selling points, action verbs. Maybe locations as well. Doing some just general keyword optimizations for the heading tags, making sure that you have the H1 and H2s, rather than, because right now you just have the H2s and H3s, so you want to make sure you have an H1 in there. That contains your primary keyword, making sure the mail to links work, as well as updating those buttons to make sure that they stand out. So changing them to like red or something. Adding an email list. More long-term, you can add content. So if there's especially one of the easiest places to start is FAQ content. So just create a page that's FAQs, add that to the top navigation menu in the footer, and just have a list of questions that are commonly asked and then your answers to those. Updating the OG data image so it includes your logo. Adding local business schema. I already said adding videos. Building out backlinks so that your website has generic, niche, and local directories. Or rather, your website is included in those directories. I already talked about building out the location and service pages. Building out citations, and then probably one of the biggest things would be creating your Google business profile. Verifying that, adding all your information, adding the photos, and then start generating reviews. Okay, so that's just about everything for this free website audit. Again, my name is Galen Spring. I am not just a guy who does free website audits. I am a digital marketing expert. I specialize in SEO and web design. If you are interested in taking your business to the next level, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help. I can provide you with a quote on any of this work if you're interested in outsourcing it to me or getting help with it. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a like. Giving it a like lets me know to make more content like this. If you found, if you are interested in more content like this, about how to do SEO, and how to rank businesses on Google, be sure to subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.